and have mastered the basics of how to effectively choose and use color for backgrounds and fonts in PowerPoint presentations. Today, I will talk about how we can further make use of color by understanding each color's psychological implications and emotional responses that each color can elicit. In this way, we can more effectively communicate with the target audience and create the effects that we want, no matter what kind of presentation we're doing. Our reaction to color is instantaneous and has profound effect on the choices we make. Psychologists estimate that the response to color can account for 60% of the acceptance or rejection of a product or service. Therefore, we must consider carefully the colors that are appropriate for the target audience. Although perceptions of color can be somewhat subjective and differ because of age, gender, and cultural differences, there are some color effects that have universal meaning and can elicit similar feelings, emotions, and responses. For example, colors in the red area of the color spectrum include red, orange, and yellow, and these are known as warm colors. These colors evoke emotions ranging from feelings of warmth and comfort to feelings of anger and hostility. On the other hand, colors in the blue area of the color spectrum, including blue, purple, and green, are known as cool colors. These colors are usually described as calm and placid, and they can also evoke feelings of sadness. Let's take a look at each of the most commonly used colors one by one to see how they can affect us and how we can use them in our presentations to get the effects we want to create. Red. In a presentation, red is usually used to draw attention because it is often where the eye looks first. Red is associated with energy, movement, and excitement, and it has been known to increase enthusiasm, stimulate energy, and increase blood pressure, respiration, heartbeat, and pulse rate. The color red also encourages action and confidence and provides a sense of protection from fear and anxiety. The energy drink company Red Bull uses red in its logo to evoke these kinds of feelings and responses, and the color can also be used in the same way in your presentations. Pink. Pink is the most calming of all colors. It conjures up feelings of innocence, and the color is often associated with romance, love, and gentle feelings. In the U.S., dangerous criminals are often kept in cells with walls of pink because studies shown that the color effectively drains energy, calms aggression, and reduces erratic behavior. For business presentations, however, be careful with using pink as it may make your presentation seem unprofessional. Orange. Orange is associated most with fun, happy, and energetic times. The color is known to stimulate activity and encourage socialization. Yellow. Yellow is often associated with laughter, happiness, and good times. Studies show that when people are surrounded by yellow, the brain releases more serotonin and therefore feels more optimistic. The color has the power to speed up metabolism and is therefore known to stimulate mental processes, activate memory, and stimulate creative thinking. However, studies also show that babies tend to cry more in bright yellow rooms and tempers also flare more. The same goes in presentations. If used in the right place with the right amount, it can create the effects desired, but if used too much, then it can be too overpowering and trigger unwanted effects. Green. The color green is calming, refreshing, and pleasing to the senses. Because green is usually associated with nature and the environment, the color soothes, helps alleviate depression, nervousness, and anxiety, and is able to make people relax mentally and physically. It also offers a sense of peace and harmony, which can give off a positive vibe or a positive energy in your presentations. Blue. Blue is the color people tend to choose to be their favorite color. Studies have shown that seeing the color blue causes the body to produce chemicals that are calming to the mind and aids intuition. It has been shown that people also tend to be more productive in a blue room because they are calm and focused on the task. For example, studies show that weightlifters can lift more weight in a blue gym. On the other hand, indigo, which is another shade of blue, increases personal thought, profound insights, and instant understanding of complex matters. So if you need to explain something difficult to understand to your audience in your presentations, perhaps using the color indigo would help them out. Purple. The color purple, which were once the color of robes worn by kings and queens, is associated with wealth, prosperity, and sophistication. Studies have shown that purple uplifts spirits, calms the mind and nerves, offers a sense of spirituality, and encourages creativity because it stimulates the brain activity used in problem solving. Gray. Traditionally, gray can be a very dull and boring color. However, if used effectively, gray can produce sophisticated effects. The color gray is associated with practical, timeless, and solid things in life. However, you need to be careful with some shades of gray as they can be associated with old age, death, depression, or a lost sense of direction in life. Black. Black is one of the most popular colors to use in PowerPoint presentations. The color black is associated with authority, power, stability, strength, and intelligence. Black can also evoke very strong emotions and can make people feel inconspicuous. It can be a very powerful color when used appropriately, but it's also very easy to overwhelm people with too much black, so use the color in moderation. White. White is a color that is usually associated with purity and cleanliness. Think doctors in white lab coats and brides in white wedding dresses. The use of white in PowerPoint presentations should be used strategically. Studies have shown that white aids mental clarity and encourages people to clear clutter or obstacles. The use of white space in PowerPoint slides is a very powerful tool to simplify and clarify things. By making good use of the impressions conveyed by each color, you can guide the thoughts of your readers in the psychological direction you want and leave a lasting impression, even in a limited span of time. Although each color can evoke specific emotions and responses, you should always be sensible when dealing with color. Always use color in moderation, and be careful of coming off as unprofessional. I hope I have provided some good advice on the use of colors, and I hope you find them useful for improving your presentations. Thank you.